If you're watching this, chances are you've already tried at least one parental control app. Maybe it worked fine for a few weeks. Maybe your kid figured it out faster than you expected him to. Either way, you're here because you want to know which apps actually hold up, not which ones have the best marketing. Here's the thing, most parental control reviews test whether the features work. We tested something entirely different. My team of 7 digital safety experts spent hundreds of combined hours, not just setting up the apps, but actively trying to defeat them. VPNs downloaded from the App Store, incognito mode, deleting the app, sideloading browsers that aren't covered by the filter, the exact workarounds that your smart kid probably has already Googled. And what we found is that the gap between has content filtering and actually protects your child is much wider than most reviews are going to tell you. I'll walk you through what we tested, what broke, and what held up. And I'll tell you which app fits which situation because, let's face it, your 10-year-old and your 16-year-old are not the same problem. Let's start with what bypass resistant actually means because most parents are shopping based on the wrong thing. The feature list on most parental control apps looks reassuring. Content filtering, screen time limits, location tracking, that's a real checklist, right? But it's not the checklist that matters. Here's what we were actually looking at. Can a reasonably tech-savvy kid uninstall the app? Can they use a free VPN from the App Store to tunnel around the content filter? Does incognito mode bypass monitoring? Can they download a secondary browser that isn't covered? Can they click through a warning to access blocked content or request more time without parental approval? That last one actually matters more than people realize. Some apps block content and then offer the child a request more time button, which is polite, I guess, right? But it's not a filter, it's a negotiation. What you actually want is for blocked content to simply not load. No warning, no workaround, just nothing. That's the standard we were testing against. Let me walk you through Aura first, because it's where our testing landed after we got past feature comparisons. Aura has 28 content filtering categories, which is more than any other app that we tested. But honestly, the number matters less than what happens when you hit a block. In our testing, blocked content simply didn't load. No bypass button, no request more time option for the kid, no workaround through incognito. The content just wasn't there. That's not a small distinction. That's basically the whole game. Aside from that, setup took under 5 minutes. You scan a QR code from the parent device to the child's device and you're in. I timed it at right about 4 minutes on an iPhone. No connecting to a computer, no multi-step configuration, just one scan. If your kids are gamers, and really whose aren't, this is actually worth paying attention to. Aura's safe gaming feature monitors voice and text chat across more than 200 PC games. We're talking Discord, Roblox, Fortnite, Apex Legends, the platforms where kids are actually talking to strangers. No other app on this list touches that. And here's something that doesn't get mentioned enough in parental control reviews. Aura isn't just blocking websites when your child's at the keyboard. It's also working when they're not. Data broker sites, identity monitoring, dark web scanning, those run continuously in the background as part of the same subscription. So while your child's protected from harmful content online, the rest of your family's digital footprint is being monitored and cleaned up at the same time. That's a totally different category of protection than what any standalone parental control app is going to offer. The family plan covers up to 5 adults and unlimited kids on unlimited devices. Every adult in the household gets 3 bureau credit monitoring, dark web monitoring, data broker removal, and up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. Your children's social security numbers are monitored, and you can freeze their credit across all 3 bureaus directly from the dashboard, which really does matter because child identity theft can go undetected for years. So, is there a catch? Well, the bundled VPN and antivirus are solid for most families, but they're not going to replace a dedicated standalone tool if that's what you need. That's an honest trade-off though, right? It's not what most parents are here for. If you're here for the parental controls plus comprehensive family protection in one subscription, there you go. Pricing's in the description. Check the links for current rates since that does change. And if you've already decided, the link is also there and that supports our channel at no extra cost to you. So Bark deserves a fair look, and I want to give it one because for a specific type of family situation, it's genuinely the right answer. Bark's strength is communication monitoring. It scans more than 30 social media platforms, including texts and emails and search activity. The AI is trained to flag concerning content like bullying, depression, violence, predatory behavior. So if your primary concern is what your teenager is saying and to whom, Bark's depth here is real. It is definitely the deepest in the category. In our testing, the setup process was a little bit rougher than Aura's. Some users got stuck, specifically at the step where an iPhone needs to be connected to a computer. Aura's QR code approach was definitely dramatically simpler. And that does matter when you're trying to set this up with a kid in the room who would rather that you didn't. On content filtering specifically, Bark has 19 filtering categories compared to Aura's 28. 9 fewer categories is 9 more places that content can slip through. And Bark's approach is more notification-based than blocking-based. It's going to tell you when something happened, which is designed to give you something to talk to your child about. That's a deliberate philosophy. So whether it's right for your family really depends on what you actually want the app to do. Bark Premium covers unlimited devices and children per family. Again, check the description for current pricing. It doesn't include identity protection, credit monitoring, or data broker removal. It's really more for kids who need their texts monitored. That's what it's really good at. Qustodio shows up on most best parental controls lists, so I want to set honest expectations. It has a real feature set: YouTube monitoring, a panic button on Android, 30-day activity history on the complete plan. It works on phones, on tablets, desktops, and Chromebooks. The basic plan is the most affordable paid option in this comparison. Where Qustodio gets complicated is platform consistency. Some monitoring features, calls and messages specifically, work differently on iOS, and they require a desktop computer in the loop in order to function. In our bypass testing, Qustodio's content filtering approach didn't match what we saw from Aura. Content was blocked, but the experience just wasn't as clean or as technically difficult to work around. It's a reasonable starting point if your needs are really basic and your budget is tight. Just be clear about what you're trading for that lower price. So I know some of you are thinking, what about Apple Screen Time or Google Family Link? They're free and they're already on the device. I would say they're infinitely better than nothing. And I totally mean that. If the choice is between Screen Time or no controls at all, definitely use Screen Time. But here's the thing, those tools were built as basic guardrails, not as actual fences. They weren't designed to resist a really motivated kid. A determined 12-year-old can find workarounds for pretty much most of what Screen Time does, and it took some of the kids in our testing less time than it would take you to watch this video to figure it out. The apps we tested today were built specifically to close those gaps. So let me be direct about the decision because I think the honest breakdown is more useful than a forced comparison. If you want comprehensive family protection, parental controls plus identity theft protection plus data broker removal plus credit monitoring all under one subscription, Aura is the clear answer. The family plan covers your entire household, and the parental controls held up better than anything else we tested. Blocked content didn't load at all. No workarounds, no loopholes, no click-throughs. Make sure you check current pricing in the description. If you have a teenager and your specific concern is what they're communicating on social media and in text, say there's a bullying situation, a safety concern, a specific relationship that you want visibility into, Bark's monitoring depth across 30+ platforms is the best available. It's a focused tool that does one job very well. I know the parental controls conversation is uncomfortable. Nobody wants to feel like they're surveilling their child. But let me be direct with you. You're not surveilling anyone. You're building a safer environment in a world that was not designed with your 11-year-old in mind. The right tool doesn't make you the bad guy. It just has to actually work when your kid inevitably tests the limits. And based on everything that we ran through, Aura is the one that held up. If that's where you've landed too, the link is in the description. It supports our channel at no extra cost to you, which we greatly appreciate. And stay safe out there.